Bilderberg.
I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Gotta get it by any means. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Gotta get it by any means. Yeah. By any means necessary. I'm making moves, trying to be legendary.
All right. And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Football. This is the Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins in Week 6 reaction. You know, I'm going to try to make this short and sweet because here we are yet again after another game and another disappointment. Let's get started. First half, first possession. It looked raggedy. It did. Didn't get it done. But the second possession, we got it done. First half, first quarter, up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? The offense was playing exceptionally well. We had 10 first downs in the first quarter. That is crazy. And I said it in the last video. Already 0-6. Well, 0-6 now. 0-5 then in the last video. I said, be aggressive. Be aggressive. And what they do, they called a fake punt. It was a good call. I agree with it. Unfortunately, it was short of the first down, the line of game. And then it happened in the second quarter. Miami rallies back and ties the game 14-14. I knew in my heart that after the Panthers went up 14-0, that they were going to start slacking and they were going to take their foot off the pedal and allow Miami to come back. And that's exactly what they did. So quickly, because at the end of the first quarter, we were up 14-0. Midway through the second quarter, Miami came back and tied it up 14-all. And then right after the 2-minute warning, the first play after the 2-minute warning, touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now you would think when you are playing a team with the fastest wide receiver in the National Football League, that you would come into the game with a plan just for him, strictly for him. Double team or something. I mean, he ran a simple go route and beat the DB. A simple go route. And then they get the ball back with 1 minute and 50 some odd seconds left. And we get downfield, try to kick the field goal to go in 21-17 at halftime. And Eddie misses the field goal. You know, it brought back flashbacks from last year in Atlanta. PTSD, nothing. No biggie. So Miami leads 21-14 going into halftime. Carolina has 72 rush yards, 142 passing yards, 214 total. No turnovers, no penalties, but they did allow 1 sack. So that was it. Miami had 67 rush yards, 152 passing yards, 219 total. No turnovers. And they only had 2 penalties. So 2 penalties in the first half. That's not bad. Second half comes around. This is when the offensive line started to break down again. This happened in the last game versus the Lions. They played well in the first half, and then the second half is just a dumpster fire, man. I just don't know, man. And look, not only that the O-line was breaking down, the defense was breaking down as well, which I knew that was going to happen too. Played so well in the first half. Well, I'll take that back. Played so well in the first quarter. And then really after that, they started breaking down. And then late in the fourth quarter, which was when it was too late, we got a pick six. And up to that point, Miami had a 35-0 run after the first quarter. 35-0 run. To break that down, we didn't score in the second quarter or the third quarter. But of course, the pick six was good and all, but it was too late. Miami wins 42-21. And now the Panthers are 0-6. Carolina had 108 rushing yards. Had 188 passing yards. 296 total yards. No turnovers. But 4 allowed sacks, which means 3 more sacks in the second half. Miami had 162 rushing yards, 262 passing yards, with a total of 424, 1 interception, and no sacks allowed. We didn't get 1 sack. What the defense? What? And where was Brian Burns? And now the Panthers are going into a bye week. And I'm going to make a video. Just don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to make a video on the bye week. And then they come back to face the Texans in week 8. And then the Colts in week 9, and they're both home games. This is going to be interesting because the Texans have C.J. Stroud, and the Colts, well, they had Anthony Richardson, but he's injured now. So it's going to be interesting. And if the defense continues to struggle on stopping teams, especially on third down, it's just going to be hard to win. They ain't going to win. Simple as that. I mean, you've heard it. Defense wins games. Defense wins championships. And that's true. If you can't stop an offense from scoring and your offense ain't scoring, then I don't know how in the hell you're going to win. So I just read something today as well. It said that Frank Reich is handing over the Panthers' offensive play calling duties to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown. I want to know what the hell took so long, because a lot of this shit ain't been working lately. And now he decides to do this. I'm going to read this right quick. So it says, Reich has informed his players he will hand over play calling duties to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown. Reich says, it's always been part of the plan. Then why are you going to tell that lie? Always been part of the plan. Something Thomas and I have discussed from the time that he was hired. I'm excited for this for Thomas. I'm excited for our team on offense. Thomas is a stud. He's a great leader. He's a brilliant offensive mind. We all have a lot of confidence in him. Well, you should have let him call the plays on week 1. On week 1, you should have let him call the plays. Because in week 1, the play calling was weak. Week 2, the same. I mean, it kept going and going and going. I will say this, at least it looked like Bryce Young had a lot more freedom, I should say, for lack of a better word, in passing, because it was a lot of it wasn't as much screens and short passes and all that. He was actually throwing down the field, and Adam Thielen was going off on that game. He said, "I think the timing is right." Yeah, because you're 0-6. Now you want to put it in somebody else's hands and let somebody else get some of the blame if they lose or whatever. This has been something even from the beginning that I have talked with Mr. Tepper and the general manager, Scott, from the beginning of the season. Thought that this bye week was going to be a checkpoint. Really been thinking hard about it the last couple of weeks and kind of knew it was leaning this way. Yeah. You think? I'm excited to turn it over to Thomas, and I know he's going to do a great job for this team. I mean, if this ain't working, then yeah, it's time to try something else. Now, if it wasn't broke, then we're not going to fix it. If we were 6-0, then you keep doing what you're doing. But when you're 0-6, you need to figure out you need to change it up. You need to figure something else out because it's not working. Because I can guarantee you, if this player wasn't working out, he'd be cut. He'd be gone. Reich said from that moment he hired Brown during the offseason, he knew that this was a likely scenario, but he wanted to get to know Brown first before proceeding with a play calling change. This just sounds like all BS to me. I needed to get in season and see it all play out. And he said, and he added that the play calling will remain a collaborative process. No, let him take over 100% and see what happens. I like to think that this is the best decision no matter what our record is. Who would say that now? We're 0-6. So after the bye week, we're going to see Thomas Brown calling the plays. Well, let's see what happens. Because, like I said, Frank, calling the plays, especially at the beginning, wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. All these screen plays and all that, yeah, it was just making me cringe. It was getting on my nerves. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's how we almost beat the Chiefs that one year. I can't remember what year it was, but we came damn close to beating the Chiefs. Be aggressive. That's all. So it's going to be bye week this coming up week. Like I said, I'll make a video, but I don't know what it's going to be about. Don't know what I'm saying. And then after that, Texans and the Colts. The Panthers are the only team that are winless. So, in week 8, home game against the Texans, I want to see some progress. And I want to see the record say 1-6. Y'all make sure y'all like this video, comment, share, all of that. And to all the Panther fans, you know what y'all need to do. Even if you're disappointed and frustrated and tired, just keep your head up. We'll get to the promised land. Keep pounding.
I'm up early, get my hands dirty. Gotta make that long drive. Punch the clock around 7:30, then getting off around 5. Overtime on weekends, now I'm starting to feel a little sleep deprived. But you gotta do what you gotta do in order to survive. Knocked down but didn't stay down. 10 toes, never laid down. What them haters gotta say now? Yeah, I'm on my way now.